Alright, what's up everybody? I'm Maxy, or Maxylobes. I'm gonna be running First Encounter Assault Recon. Any percent. It's pretty broken, lots of cool skips. So yeah. And a really OP shotgun. You'll be seeing a super OP shotgun. One of the best. Let's count down.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. So we're gonna skip a bunch of cutscenes here. And then we're in a car.
Track Fettel to an abandoned building just up ahead.
We're gonna go look for Paxton Fettel.
Activity on the satellite, but don't take any chances. Jankowski, you in position?
Just say the word.
All right, move it out.
Move it out. Alright. So, this is a first-person shooter game. It's, I don't know. It's 2005, so... It's got some really quirky kind of first-person shooter, like typical speedrun strats. Like, you're not typical, but there's a lot of item boosting and clipping through walls and like use of explosive, you know, physics to get to places that you're not supposed to be getting to. There's a bunch of crazy stuff. I'll explain it as it goes, but just know this game is extremely broken. 2005. PC first-person shooter by Monolith. It's super awesome though. It's got a spooky story behind it.
Come on. You ready?
It's pretty unique.
Go.
Basically, the spooky story is based around trying to create the perfect life form, and this big company is trying to cover it up. It's like a crazy secret project, and it backfires, and all this crazy stuff starts happening.
Just leftovers. Transmitter signal's coming from nearby. Gotta be around there somewhere.
This is kind of just the introduction. We're also going to get smacked by a plank of wood. That's unfortunate. It happens every run, but it's still unfortunate. Look at this guy. He ate Charles' hamburger.
I remember him, but all the memories.
He's covered in ketchup. I can't believe this.
It makes no difference. He deserved to die. They all deserve to die.
Can we get some Bible thumps for Charles' hamburger?
Come in. Over. What's going on? I've lost Fettel's signal. Comcast, this is Dead Mother. I hope you aren't busy. We've got a situation down at the harbor. What kind of situation? We've located those soldiers you were looking for, but we're under orders not to engage until you guys reconnoiter. Understood. I've got 2 birds en route to your position. You should have a visual shortly. We'll be ready.
What do you think of the new point?
Alright.
Hey, back over.
Something I do, or try to do every single run.
About done up there?
Get up here.
Getting started.
You boys run along. I'll be busy here for a while.
And then we get some really sick lore.
Come on, make her push. I've tried to forget. I've tried so hard to forget.
Baby rage. Alright, and then you skip another cutscene right here. He gives you like this crazy pep talk. You know, pump you up for the mission ahead. And there's some really weird dialogue in this game. I'll point out some of it. I mean, we're not even like 5 minutes in, I don't think. And then we hear this. Alright. I will.
This is Little Bird. We're on the ground.
Alright, so here's gate skip. We're supposed to go get the controls and turn them on.
I'd send one of my boys, but I think we need a special.
But instead, we're actually just going to jump off of that guy and kind of just mash the jump button so we can get over the fence. Punch this guy for absolutely no reason. And now the fun begins. You're gonna see a lot of really weird melee kills. I touch people with my toes and they die. It's great. There's also one punch kills as well, like this one coming up here. He does not want to stand there. This guy doesn't even know. Alright, so I'm actually going to attempt to do something that I don't do very often. Oh, did I kill him? No. Okay. This other guy is also gonna mess this up. Alright. So essentially what I'm about to do is something called box boost. I don't usually do it in my runs because, well, it's pretty risky. But hey, this is a marathon. I've got a little bit of time added to my estimate, so we might as well try this out. It's pretty cool. By throwing a grenade earlier, I was able to change the physics of how things work in this room. And I'm actually going to attempt to jump off of this box repeatedly to get up here. Oh! Alright. Let's try this one more time. And let's just not even do it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That awkwardly hilarious attempt. I actually, you know, I did it. I actually did the box boost quite well. And then, I fell off. Falling off is slow. And then you have to do this. This is what I would normally do in my run. Double kill. But I wanted to do the box boost just to see if we could pull it off. We almost did. We practically did. You guys get the point of what it's for. And we're gonna throw a very cheeky nade here. Ooh! There's a lot of really fun melee in this game. It's super wild. Alright. So that's an example of, boosting off of something to get to somewhere you're not supposed to early on. But the game's much more broken than that. You're actually about to see some pretty wild stuff in this next interval. Which is, that's pretty much how the game is sectioned up. It's sectioned up into intervals.
He's alive.
Should I call in a medevac?
He doesn't appear to be injured, although I don't know how he survived.
Worry about that later. I'm reading Federal's transmitter near that position. We've got to take that fucker out, fast. Jen, keep looking for Jankowski. I'm still reading his life signs.
You can't send him in alone, that's
crazy. Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy, but...
Now move!
Okay. I'm gonna pick up this medkit real quick, because I'm actually down a medkit from doing box boost. And now I'm going to do a glitch that will allow me to float in midair, essentially. And the way that you can tell that you're actually floating is that my footsteps no longer make sound. So that's kind of the audio cue of how you know. So now that I'm floating, I'm actually going to go back to this big starting area in the interval, and I'm going to brush up against stuff to gain height, simply because that's the only way to gain height. And by doing this, I can actually go over this fence and open a door that you're not supposed to be able to open. I'm not even sure why you can interact with it. But out of bounds, there's a med kit, so we'll pick that up. And then we're going to float all the way to the end of the level. The interval, rather. Every single interval, you know, you load, and everything's loaded. It's just not rendered, technically. And once you get close enough, you know, it pops up, and here's the skeleton. Oh, spooky. And yeah, so everything's loaded, so you can just get to the end of the level by floating there. It's pretty crazy. And then, the quick save, quick load glitch. I just teleported. I know. It's pretty spooky. How did he do it? It's black magic. I'll explain. You press quick save. And then you press quick save again, like right after that first quick save. And then you quick load during that second quick save. Now, once you do that, you are sent to a predetermined spot in the map. I'm not really sure what this was used for, but it's a little trick that was not patched. So we can use that in a few levels. Not all of them. Intervals. I keep saying levels. I speedrun a game that has intervals, a game that has chapters, a game that has missions, and a game that has levels. What's wrong with me? Anyways. Doing some more floating stuff here. I'm actually going to pick up the grenade and the body armor and the pistol that you saw, pick up the shotgun, and float to the end. An absolute broken mess this game is. It's great. And, man, we don't stop there. We don't stop there. Wait. Spook! Alright. And then we cover up the spook by doing some crazy stuff again. This is bad water skip. This is extremely hard to pull off. If I can do it first try, that'd be great. Just because it is really impressive. Yeah. Like, straight up, that is so much harder than I just made it look. So that's the interval done. Moving on to the next one. We're going to do another teleport. It doesn't send us out of bounds, but it sends us to this courtyard area, kind of. It's courtyard? What kind of courtyard is that? I don't know. It's like a storage, like, docking area. I don't know. Ah. This whole game just has the same aesthetic to it. Throughout a lot of it. But yeah, we're gonna quick port just to get to that area. It's about halfway through the interval, so we're skipping quite a bit with it. And now I'm going to attempt to get the perfect fight, which is really hard, but we'll see what I can do. I'm gonna reload real quick. Oh, this guy survived! Well then, that was a very, very good fight. Very close to perfect.
Looks like the HLZ is clear. Copy, I'm on approach.
Very close to perfect.
Keep your eyes open.
And you saw the shotgun in action. This thing's a beast. Well, I mean, if you use it right.
Head to ATC headquarters and find Fettel.
Alright, you know that dialogue that I was talking about earlier?
Tell us about your recon team.
You're about to get some of the tastiest dialogue right here.
Now the entire system is offline. Any news on the bad guys? We know they hit the main building shortly before 5 p.m. No estimate on enemy strength, but we should assume it's a sizable force. Hostages? Undetermined. There's no demand. Not as far as I know. Dust 7 on final. Copy, Dust 7. Do you have a visual? Roger that. Look dark. Man, I live for this shit. Keep kicking your pants.
They both immediately die as well. That's what's so sad. But it's okay, I'll cheer you up with a good old Double kill. Alright. So this is LZ is hot. It's a very, very quick mission, or interval. But man, is it hard to optimize. Double kill. Some of these enemy movements are very random. Sometimes they'll damage you a lot, sometimes they'll only damage you a little bit. So right there, they did a lot of damage to me. But that's alright. This is actually going very smoothly. That was very disrespectful what I just did. I just used that dude's head as a platform. Oh. Oh man, okay. So we're done with LZ's hot. This is basically like, it's the interval to get you into the Armacam building. And now that we're inside of the Armacam building, this is actually one of the most enjoyable parts of the run. The Armacam building just has a lot of, I don't know, just a lot of cool skips, a lot of, interesting exploits. And it also contains one of the coolest looking and most impressive skips in the game as well, which is a Norton skip. Much more precise than a lot of the quick save, quick load glitches and skips that you're seeing. Uh-oh. Oh, we're fine. Alright, here we go. Norton skip. Let the tests begin. I'll try to explain it after I do it, because it's a little complicated. You know what? This is a little too far that way. There we go. That's not a good enough grenade. That's better. Uh-oh. I actually can't seem to... Oh. There we go. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm boosting up here into the vent, which you're not allowed to go into, essentially. Gonna jump over here, do some quick saves just for safety. Kind of just, right along these walls here. And by doing all of this correctly, I am now at the, pretty much the halfway point of this interval. I skipped having to talk to Norton Mapes, who is, well, for those of you who have played this, Norton Mapes is the dude in the Hawaiian shirt who eats a lot of cheesy poos. Yes, that's what the crisps are called. Or chips, whatever you want to call them. In this game, there are packets of cheesy poos all over the place, and that's basically what Norton Mapes lives off of. That's his power. Anyways, he asks us to do a bunch of tasks, which we really don't need to do. And now time for spooks. Spook! Oh, okay. We're done with the spooks.
She is a prisoner, floating in...
So yeah, we don't want to do all those tasks with Norton. It's just pointless. Like, we can just, you know, go out of bounds and skip all of it.
I lost him again. Fuck.
Present.
What do you think, Jen?
There was a lot of anger in this room.
Get out of here.
That's great. Got anything useful to add?
I don't see any bullet holes.
So yeah,
No brass lying around either.
this run has a little bit of
Fire
everything.
shot.
It's a pretty cool first-person shooter speedrun.
I don't know.
Well, figure it out. All right, buddy.
Bunch of cool exploits.
Gotta be close.
That's one of that was actually a pretty solid skip. Normally I mess something up there, but I didn't seem to mess anything up. And now Bishop skip. Bishop skip is,
Hostage is secure.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Oh, please let me oh, there we go. Okay. They let me live. I only have 45 health, though. So that skip is really, really frustrating because you have to do it very quickly, but under a ton of fire. I mean, I used all of my med packs there. But essentially, what you have to do in Bishop Skip is you have to jump up to that area, which you normally, you know, you're not supposed to be able to jump there. And, if you don't do that, I'm not kidding here, you're spending like minutes going throughout the level. Like that Bishop Skip is actually quite a lot of time saved. Because you don't have to talk to Bishop. That's why it's called Bishop Skip. You have to talk to Bishop and you have to find the team that defuses the bombs on his body. Because he's like being held hostage and stuff, so. You don't have to save him at all. Whoa. But the thing about Bishop Skip is that it's not consistent whatsoever. It's ridiculous. I have found a somewhat consistent way of doing it, but I mean, you saw I was basically mashing my keyboard like crazy, trying to force my way up there. That's essentially the strat. You force your way instead of, you know, doing anything super precise. But that's that interval. So 2 pretty big skips in a row, Norton Skip and Bishop Skip. Those 2 skips normally kill runs, but I've been playing this game a lot lately, so we nailed them. Nailed them first try. Just going to get a quad kill with that nade. My lord. Fellas, please. Just move out of the way, it'll be for your health.
We're taking fire. Get us the hell out of here. What's happening? Bishop's down. Repeat, Bishop's down. Over there.
Some pretty specific jumps here. We gotta get the extra med packs.
What the fuck is ATC doing? Guess they didn't trust him to keep his mouth shut about something.
And there should be 2 med packs over here for me to pick up too. Double kill.
Shit, your signal's breaking up.
Also, thank you everyone for supporting Voltathon Charged. It's been an awesome marathon so far. Been a lot of cool runs. And we only just started too. Day 1. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Nice. Spoop.
They left her to die.
So here's another interesting strat with the floating glitch. Normally, you would have to raise the water level and go to this other area, and then go up a bunch of ladders, and then get to this area to use the power to turn on the elevator, and it's all kind of complicated. But instead, with the floating glitch, we can just kind of avoid all of that. That was a great grenade. And now we just ride the elevator while this guy shoots at us very poorly. That was a terrible aim. That man, what is he doing? Alright, another quick save, quick load here. Teleports us to the end of Sayonara Sucker, which is the interval name. Cheesy Poos! I told you, look, Cheesy Poos everywhere! He lives off of Cheesy Poos. Norton's a crazy man. But yeah, essentially, I mean, this interval takes like 2 minutes or something normally, but with this it takes 30-something seconds. Huge difference. We're doing another quick save, quick load here as well, but this quick save, quick load is followed up by something that we call pillar climb. Now, the weird thing about pillar climb is that you're essentially just climbing this part of the wall, the diagonal part, but it's super finicky. Oh man, that was actually really good until I messed up at the end. I'm not super consistent with it, but I've been finding more consistency lately. It's definitely something you have to practice a lot. I'm gonna take the health pack and these mines. The mines are actually to kill some enemies later who are a part of a escort mission during an interval later on. But let me explain what that pillar climb skips. So essentially, in this part of the game, you are pretty much put up against your first boss, really. I don't know, there's no boss fights in this game, but it's like a mini boss, which are the big mech machines who shoot missiles. And there's an area that you have to turn on an elevator and fight one of these guys in a mech with these missiles. And it's really stressful and it takes minutes. And instead, we kind of just climb up the pillar and we are able to go through that door very early. To make it simple, we're climbing a pillar to get to the second floor instead of turning on an elevator. Ooh.
Get to cover.
These guys are punching me.
Keep firing. Let's get out of here.
Also, I jump over that couch there because there's body armor. And if you look at the bottom left, you see two different little meters. There's one for health and one for armor. I didn't really explain that at the beginning, but I mean, I suppose you can kind of just catch on as you watch. Kind of understand what those two values might mean. And to the right are my medkit and grenade count. And I'm getting bullied. Oh, please. That was quite rude. Oh, this is what I was talking about, by the way. It is a mech with missiles. You don't want to fight that. Oh, nice. Not sure why that door didn't.
God damn it! I lost battle signal again. This transmitter's a piece of shit.
And that's that interval done. And this next one, man, this next one is very intense. I myself have not really fully optimized this interval in any of my PBs, but it's because it's kind of random. A lot of the random things that happen in these runs are just related to what enemies choose to do. The AI in this game, they are almost a little too smart for their own good. And sometimes when they make really good decisions, it turns out to be the death of them, and sometimes they make really bad decisions, and it ends up being the death of me. Sounds like it doesn't make sense, but trust me. Yeah. Because essentially, in this game, you just want to run past everyone. You don't really want to fight them. So the more that you have to melee to kill people to get them out of the way, it's timeless. And now we're just gonna climb a bunch of ladders and avoid getting hit by elevators. Cause that's no fun.
Man, I hope this chick's alive. Nobody's been snacking on her.
Alright, here we go. This is the start of the kind of this rampage that we go on. We're gonna... Oh. Okay, we're good. Amazing grenade toss. That is exactly what I like to see. Get the kick around the corner, pick up the body armor. Very nice. Alright. I'm going to switch to my mines now, because we're going to be using those in this next area. Also, for those of you who are probably wondering why I always try to run with my weapon holstered, it's because you move quickly when you holster your weapon. It's about 5% more, you know, speedy. Plus 5% speedy when you do that, so. Okay, that seemed like a pretty solid clear right there. Very good start. Oh, I have to reload. Did not realize that. Oh. Okay. Okay, that happened. It's not too much of a deficit. It's fine. This run, in terms of all the skips, this run has been going amazing, so I don't really mind, losing a little bit of time to a death. Here, let's reload now. Alright, and then move on. Oh, shit. Reload again. Hiya! Also, if you're wondering why I'm shooting everybody and not just running past them, it's because I actually need all of these dudes to be dead. This is the escort mission. And in order to escort the person that I'm about to pick up, I need her to, you know, not stay behind because there's a bunch of enemies. There we go, here she is. Hello.
I need to get to my dad.
Where is it?
Some kind of classified facility. I've never heard of it.
Pick up this weapon.
There isn't even a street address, just UTM coordinates.
This chapter is just so difficult to actually optimize. It's pretty nuts. It's all over the place.
First things first. Get to the roof. The helo's on the way.
You mean a helicopter? Can we drive instead? My car's downstairs in the parking garage.
What, are you afraid of flying?
Kind of.
Trust me, you're safer in the air.
Yeah, right.
Alright, now she's gonna start running.
Go get my dad.
Oh, hello.
Until this is over.
What?
Don't worry, your father will be joining you as soon as we pick him up.
No way. I'm not going anywhere until I know he's okay.
Forget it, I'm not taking any more chances.
So I think you guys realize how many enemies there are now. Like, we killed so many. Yet there are still more left behind. Why, hello there. Oh, okay, there she is. Awesome. Well, this could have been a lot faster, but the rest of the run has been going so well that I don't really think the death will affect it too much. Also, let's actually take a good look at Alice Wade.
Why are all the floors lighting up?
Actually, hold on. We need to
Somebody's pressing the call button.
we need to do a little something first. This is the magic cannon. The magic cannon basically just like turns you into a spooky skeleton. That's why it's magic. Anyways, as you can see, Alice got some ketchup on her shirt. Pretty unfortunate, considering it's a nice white top. I don't know.
Here we go again.
She lost her shoes. Not really sure what she did with them. She definitely looks like she's had a rough day, that's for sure.
This sucks.
What happened to your feet? They are webbed. You are an otter. Fellas, please. Like, come on, man.
What's going on? What happened to the power?
Very catchy elevator music there. Super catchy.
I'll wait here.
Classic "I'll wait here" cliche, and she's gone. That's alright though. We'll get her back. We'll get her back. You'll see. Alright, that's that interval. Like I said, very hard interval to optimize, simply because
There you are.
enemy
How did you get separated?
and you know, just enemies being random, you know, for the most part random.
Top floor and you were gone.
Some enemies actually do have patterns that they follow, and then after that said pattern, it will they'll just be free to do what they want.
This is crazy.
So.
I am not waiting here. My dad's in danger.
Your dad will be fine.
That's why a lot of those kills seemed
Calm down.
pretty smooth,
This way.
and some of them were not.
He's headed to the garage. He's got to cut her off before she gets her.
Also, we're gonna spookify everybody who comes down from the helicopter real quick, because that gun is just absolutely overpowered. Ah, I'm stuck. What? Hello?
Welcome to Uniform Technology.
There is another pretty big skip here. I'm actually going to try a new setup for it that Yuma found. Yuma is the world record holder for this game and has found a lot of cool stuff for it.
Look, I'm willing to let you ride along to pick up your father, but you're putting yourself in a
He's
lot
been
of
putting in
danger
a lot
right
of
now.
work. I'm in second place, but man, my time is far from his.
Soldiers are looking for you.
Not gonna lie.
Capture you again, they're gonna interrogate you, and believe me, their methods are very unpleasant.
I'll take my chance.
Yeah, I'll try out the new setup. It's probably much more consistent than anything I do. Also, these are the worst enemies in the game. They are robots that essentially have stormtrooper aim, but their rate of fire is so high that they just wreck you anyways. You're in... Don't be clipping inside of me. That is rude. That is rude. Alright, so the setup is 9 crouches, and then the glitch crouch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It didn't work, Yuma. Yuma, why you lied to me? No, it probably works for him. Maybe I did the crouches too quickly. Let's try again, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it worked that time. Second try. And now this is probably one of the most... What? This is probably one of the most insane uses of the floating glitch. Like, look how much of this level we're skipping right here. But, like I said, very, very early in the run, you know, everything's loaded in. Everything's loaded in. You just, you know... If you get to the end, you get to the end, you know? There's no, there's no stopping you. And that works. If you can find a way to float and get out of bounds, that works for every interval. Every interval works like that. If you can just get to the end of it, you will get to the next interval, because the trigger to load the next interval is there.
I don't think Armacam was interested in what was on the property. They wondered what was under it. I'm guessing it has something to do with Oregon. We're hit! Dust 2 going down! Repeat, Dust 2 going down!
Uh-oh.
Hold on to something!
He looks okay, but the pilot's dead and
so we're out of Armacam now. No more Armacam.
But it'll be a while before I can ice.
We've left the building.
All right. In that case, I want you to stay with Jen and wait for the medevac.
You sure you want to send him alone? These guys ain't fucking around.
We don't have a choice. Metal could be anywhere, and Alice is out there.
Now we're actually on our way to like the true, like building, like the bioweapons research building.
So you're gonna have to get there on foot. I've got a lot of enemy movement in that area, so expect trouble. They probably want to make sure there weren't any survivors.
Gonna throw a nade. Break these wooden planks. Pick up this nade, get out the shoddy. Oh. Throw another nade to break some more planks. You are really in the way, sir. Throw another grenade to break some more planks. And now we're doing a pretty interesting skip called window skip. And it doesn't skip very much, but essentially the windows have this little space that we can land on and walk on as well. So we abuse that little space that we can walk on to go from one window to the other. And that saves a good half a minute. Like, maybe like, I would say about 20 to 30 seconds. 30 if you do it really well, like really quickly. It's hard to do very fast though, because there's this little bit of building. This little bit of building that you clip, like, you don't clip into, you bump off of it. And like you get stuck in it and then you just fall to your death. It's weird. It's very odd. Sick graffiti on the walls. Spooky. And we're gonna use one more grenade to break some planks. Over here. And the only reason that I truly use the grenades to break the planks is that I just find it easier and therefore faster. As opposed to getting out a weapon and shooting them. I'm gonna try and jump off of this yellow pole. Hey, nice. Good jump. We are actually in really, really good condition for this run. We got 7 med packs. Usually I'd have about 4 or 5 here. And also, we're gonna go for the YOLO strats. This is a marathon. Oh, this is a marathon. Aww. This is still a marathon. I'm gonna do it for you guys. I gotta do it. It's gotta happen. See, this is why we don't do these strats, but but I have to do them. I have to try them. I have to try them once or twice, just for fun. You can land on that car and walk on it. I never do it when I'm actually doing legit personal best attempts, but so these guys are going to shoot me up quite a bit, but because I have 7 med packs, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, there actually aren't too many, like, cool-looking YOLO strats in this game, or, you know, anything to show off any like, swaggy strats, anything unnecessarily used in any run other than a run for fun. Nice! That was really quick. That guy did not even come out of the room. Just clipped him through the box.
She's close now. Her presence.
There's actually a segmented strat that I was going to do but didn't do earlier in Armacam. Simply because I don't really know how to do it 100%. Hello? It's not working. Hold on. I'm trying to do the floating glitch. There we go. Right, so we're gonna use the floating glitch and just, you know, move ahead.
ATC patrol cars are approaching from the west. I got a feeling the situation is about to blow up.
And there's this little area over here that the game would like us to go through, but we're not going to. We're actually gonna pass through a window that you normally can't jump up to. Essentially, it wouldn't matter because you would just fall to your death trying to get to the elevator anyways, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna float to the elevator and just completely skip the this section of the game here. Just crouch our way down. Aha. And now for a bunch of insane endgame strats. some of this stuff is going to be hard to explain while doing it, so I'll just explain after it's been done. Oh, oops, there we go. Alright. Ladder glitch, floating glitch, switch weapons, and use this little it's not even called a gravity blaster, but that's what I call it. You use the gravity blaster, go to this vent that you usually can't actually access. Use the gravity blaster to boost your way upwards. Crouch glitch through the top, and float all the way to the end. This is an insane amount of time save. This is probably one of the biggest skips. Other than the next skip that I'm about to show you called Vault Skip. So who's loving how broken this game is? Let me get some Steam's good in the chat if you think this game is broken as all heck. Alright, wall climb. This is Vault Skip right here. We wall climb all the way to the top. Alright? We find this very specific corner. We're gonna get into a very specific spot as well. Quick save. Go into slow-mo. Crouch a bunch. In order to try and clip through this. It's a bit specific. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. Let me reposition myself a little bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Oh. The skip is so specific. Oh, there we go. Got it. We're in there. Alright. God, that took way longer than it should have, but hey, we did it. We did it. So, you know, originally we're supposed to restore power to the vault door in order to open it and use this elevator. But we're not doing that. We're clipping through the top by doing that specific crouching maneuver. And then we can just kind of we can sneak our way into the vaults. And I'll explain dog skip really soon after I do this floppy boost. This floppy boost is essentially just me boosting myself over there by using this floppy drive. And if we get it first try, that'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And oh, well, goodbye floppy. My bad. Oh, I'm kind of afraid of this placement, so we're gonna do it and then try to set it up again. Oh, it doesn't even matter because we're getting it first try. Alright, so that's floppy boost. It's actually a bit harder than how I just made it look. But you're jumping off of the floppy drive backwards. In a somewhat specific way, because you actually have to holster your weapon on that jump. Otherwise, you don't get a bit of a speed boost off of the second jump. Anyways, let's explain dog skip. So, the reason why I was able to shoot my gravity blaster and not take damage and, like, ascend up the vent, the gravity blaster does damage originally, but if you do the floating glitch on the ladder and switch to a weapon that is not the gravity blaster, the game will use the gravity blaster, but your damage, the damage of your weapon, will be the damage of whatever weapon you choose to switch to during the ladder glitch. so we switch to the shoddy. The shoddy doesn't do any damage to you. It is not an area of effect whatsoever, whereas the gravity blaster is. So you can actually exploit that and boost yourself to places that you shouldn't be able to get to using the physics behind it. All right, this is the final skip. I just call it the Spider-Man because it looks ridiculous. It needs a ridiculous name. Boom. I'm just gonna climb up this wall. Just completely climb up the wall and skip the entire end sequence inside of the vault. I am Spidey. And then this really cool music with chanting comes on. Oh, oops. You can see my fisticuffs. Alright. This is the end of the game right here. At the end of this interval, I'll give you a good heads up on time. It's pretty easy to tell when time is. But yeah, this last interval, we're pretty much just running out of the building that is about to explode due to us opening the vaults and shutting it off as well. Point Man is basically given instructions to open... Oh god, we're not getting up there. He's given instructions to, like, open the vaults. Or rather, you are given the instructions. Like, Point Man just kind of does it. He opens the vault, everything goes haywire. Things explode. And you'd think this game was made by Capcom, but it's not. Yeah, this, you know, typical video game ending where everything is exploding and you must escape. But there's still some hot lore in a bit. Nice little cutscene. Oh, really? So essentially, this is just the best weapon to use in this fight against these guys. But, there is a segmented strat where you pre-fire this gun a ton and waste all of the ammo. But it's pretty precise to actually get all of them on the first frame.
I've tried to forget.
Here we go. Here's the spoops.
I've tried so hard to forget.
Alma! Ah! Also, do not run into Alma here, otherwise you die. Gotta restart the checkpoint.
You were born.
This is actually a very scary part of the run because dying here is easy if you are, you know, not paying attention. Oh. So right here, we gotta get some headshots off. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you mess up your shots, or if you're kind of, you know, celebrating on a PB a little too early, this is a prime spot to actually ruin it all. And now the hot lore.
You will be a god among men. Take her back to the vault.
So you guys actually saw that cutscene right at the beginning of the game, but now you saw the full version of it, and you kind of, after you learn about all the stuff in the game, you kind of understand the continuation of that flashback. This game's actually really cool. The speedrun's super broken. It doesn't really show off all of what the game has to offer. It's a really great game, so I highly suggest it. And yeah, time is actually at the end of this. We're just gonna let this blow over first. And time.
Sweet. I got a 1 hour 40-second flat.
Nice. That is quite underestimate.
You did it.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the F.E.A.R. Super broken, super fun, really, really fun speed game.
I don't know how you live through that. We still don't know the extent of the damage.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Been able to get through to anyone since the explosion.
One last little spoop.
What about Alma? What happened to her? What was that sound?
Alright. Next game is Silent Hill. I gotta set up for that.
Sweet. I'll throw up a splash screen while you're setting up.
Awesome.
And thanks for that run, man. Got one more left in you. Let's do it.